Welcome back to the GSTL. We have Mia, the Golem, the Smeagol Zerg, coming in, and he's going to be playing a Zerg versus Terran against SC.
Yep, the last time they were sent out by his team was in the match against Incredible Miracle, back then also against a Terran player against Yoda. He could not clinch out a victory though. Today he plans on getting his first win in the GSTL. And by the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Jenna Bain, the manager for Axiom-Acer. She actually sent me the link that I was asking her for earlier on Twitter about the Axiom Hammer game. This is actually the name where you can find it on YouTube. So if you want to go to YouTube and just you type in Axiom Hammer game, then you will find the video that we were talking about before the first match started. It was pretty funny. It's just one of the games that they seem to play at the Axiom-Acer house. Maybe to sort out who has to do the dishes, I'm not quite sure, but it's definitely a good laugh. So have a look on YouTube, look for Axiom Hammer Game, and you'll find it.
Yep, definitely check it out. It's worth a look.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
The map that we see, by the way, is Whirlwind. Map choice of Mia. A good choice in a Zerg versus Terran, especially if you want to play against late game. But as we saw last game, SC is so map aware and he can attack you in 6 different places at once. He's so positional, so Mia has a tough task ahead of him.
On the other hand, he seems to be very, very confident in his Zerg versus Terran abilities, being sent out against another Terran player again in this league. So it feels like he's going to be the sniper for his team against Terran. And Scarlett was mentioning several times that she feels Mia is one of the best Zerg versus Terran players that they have in not only here in the team house but also in the GSTL. His problem is nerves, and he always has to kind of adapt to playing in the booth a little bit more than other players, I feel.
Yeah, let's see if he can do it. It's his first game here. Maybe he can take a first victory for his team here at the GSTL FXOpen up against Axiom-Acer.
The Axiom-Acer Zerg player starts to the bottom right of the map. We have him in red,
Axiom-Mia.
and it is
Axiom-Mia.
the Axiom players today get a double introduction for some reason.
Yeah.
It feels like Ken wants to highlight that they are really important for the Korean scene.
Exactly. They are quite important. To the top left, though, the blue player, the player who won the first game, he is
FXOSC.
He's just spawning as blue. He's not actually blue, so he's quite happy probably after his win.
One of the things that I want to point out about Mia is that he actually was in Code A twice, both times in 2012, Season 3 and Season 5.
Protoss, come out! It might come out later. Just be patient.
Yeah, later we could actually see a few. And that's actually a quite fitting sign, because I was about to say that Mia lost several times, both times that he was in Code A in the first round, and both times against Protoss players. He lost against Squirtle and also against JYP, which was of course for him really annoying. And yeah, never was able to get into the second round of Code A.
Yeah. Now, what's really important about the start of this game is that we have scouts for Mia, but they're, unfortunately for him, in the incorrect location, so he's not going to be able to know about the command center first and do anything to capitalize on that. He's not even going to be able to harass it at all.
Well, we've seen several times, also we saw it from Symbol yesterday, when you are scouting with your drone or with an overlord and you have positioned fast enough to see that there's a command center first, you can always go for a double hatch before pull. It's one of the options that you have.
Yeah. And he's not going to know this, so he's going to have to put the safe pool down now, as you can see.
Oh. And apparently, yeah, one of the things that happened yesterday, we had a couple of times where there was a problem with one of our observing computers, and as far as I've been told, there is going to be a replacement fairly soon.
Yeah. So, don't stress about that. Here's just some more stats about Mia. You can see he says he hasn't won anything. It doesn't matter what his order of play is. He hasn't won when he comes up second. He did come out second once and lost. He does get a little bit of harassment here on the command center, just a little bit later than he would have wanted to, but it's still important for him to see it.
He forces 2 of the ropes, also of the SCVs of the mineral line, so that's definitely already worth something. Of course, he also lost a fair amount of mining with the drone being sent out in the first place, but this kind of makes up for it again. Delays the command center just a tiny little bit and is able to force several SCVs off the mineral line and deny therefore a bit of mining.
Yeah, and don't forget, he saw the gas. So that means he knows that he's going to be facing a little bit faster Hellion of a follow-up instead of the fast third command center. And that's something else he gets to see here, which is really nice for him to know. So he can drone up quite safely. Doesn't have to go into, for example, a spine crawler at his base or any sort of evolution chamber wall just yet.
A little bit about the style that Mia is apparently currently using in this matchup. One of the things that Terran player do, of course, quite often against Zerg is rely on Bio Widow Mine. Widow Mines replace siege tanks in so many ways that they are usually more used in Heart of the Swarm than siege tanks. And one of the things that you can do against them if you're a Zerg player is what Scarlet showcased already in her matches against, I think it was back then MVP, where you just use a few Infestors and you go for the Infested Terrans, try to drop them on top of the Widow Mines to trigger the cooldown. Mia apparently, due to the information that we have, is using a different style where he relies on Swarm Hosts. And they can also be very effective with the Locusts. But right now, SC has to worry about those Zerglings first.
Yeah, excellent micro from him so far. But of course, you know, micro can only get you so far. Oh, that was close, but he will pick up one of these Lings. Actually, yeah, he needs to pull those back.
Yeah, Mia did not really pay attention to what was happening there. What he really wanted to do was move down with the Zerglings and take down the SCV that was building the bunker. Right now he's losing all of the Lings. What basically happened there is that he went in, saw that he could do damage, took down an SCV, took down also a few Marines, but then he focused again to the macro at the bottom right and didn't see that the Marine was retreating into the main base and still taking out the Zerglings that couldn't reach him.
Yeah, so, I mean, nice micro by SC, and we just had Mia paying attention somewhere else at the time. We see Reactor Hellions coming out with a third command center, and with the reactor, or rather the tech lab going down, if he adds a starport, we could actually see Banshees again from SC going into a completely different matchup here. This is the way Polt used to play this matchup and the way a lot of Terrans were playing this matchup for a long time in Wings of Liberty. It kind of fell out of style.
What we also have is a huge amount of queens here. I'm actually a little bit surprised. We have not only 3 but 4 queens right now, and he's even getting an additional one. So he can really spread his creep so fast and also rely on the queens to do damage against air units. So this is very interesting. He decides to not go into any additional Zerglings, but completely commits now to drones, where the queens are supposed to be the defense that he has back at home.
Yeah, this is a really nice defense he's got. You know, I talked about the spine crawler earlier that, you know, he didn't want to add it just yet, but now he's got it at exactly the timing he wants. He saw the gas, and he knows, okay, Hellions are coming down. He got the queens and the spine ready, not taking any chances.
What SC has, on the other hand, is very early double engineering bay, and he is getting those upgrades so fast. Mia has to be very, very careful. That could be a huge problem for him later on. Yeah,
he didn't go for the Banshees, but went for the fast stim with the E-base, and Mia definitely is going to have to make sure he hits his upgrades properly going forward, and he sees this too. Look at that.
Really good scout. This is exactly what he needed. He already started the double evolution chamber and is now about to complete it, but he wants to have the information what's going on here. And with the double engineering bay that he just spotted, he knows now exactly what kind of commitment SC made with the early gas that he had.
Yep. Hellions just trying to do a little bit of harassment. There weren't any drones there just yet, so he couldn't get anything. Now the queens are ready. He's not able to accomplish a whole lot. He just wants to deny the creep spread as much as possible. He's going to try to go get a cancel on some of these tumors on the right side.
And what we just saw is a Baning Nest going down for Mia. This is also something that he does, not only because he wants to go into the Ling Muta and probably Baneling composition later on in the game, but also because he realized that with the early upgrades there could well be a push of his opponent. And in order to deal with this, you need to have not only a good creep spread to give you the additional speed boost that Zerg units get on creep, but you also, of course, need a few Banelings there.
Yeah, you really do. And you just have to make sure that you're not playing too greedy. And the queens give you a feeling of security, but you don't want to take that too far. The Spire coming down here means that SC, since he had the upgrades faster than the starport, is not really going to have much of an opportunity to go for those early drops. I'm usually going to shut that down pretty hard.
You still have 2 bases against 3, but of course SC already has an additional command center that he could use anytime soon, and that's exactly what he does right now. Moving over to the 3rd base, trying to claim it. And we will probably also see a 4th base coming for Mia very soon in the game. As soon as we have the first few Mutalisks in the game, he will most likely take this to 4th.
Exactly. And just wants to be cautious about it. Doesn't want to take it against someone who's so good at dropping.
He actually takes it even a little bit faster than I expected. Feels very confident in his abilities to deal with any aggression that comes his way now. And let's not forget that he has overlords in very crucial positions. To the top right, one at the natural of his opponent, and also another overlord at the 3rd base.
Yeah, very careful with his positioning on his overlords to spot those drops. SC, though, is taking his base as well pretty aggressively, and he doesn't even have a wall set up or anything like that, not even very many Widow Mines. In fact, I don't think he has any, not a single Widow Mine nor Siege Tank, so he's playing this a little bit greedy himself.
Yeah, at this point, without a single Widow Mine, it's going to be interesting how exactly he's going to go into the mid game. If he completely forgoes the Widow Mines, or if he's actually trying to add them a little bit later in the game. Right now, all his gas just goes into upgrades, and this means that he has very fast +2/+2.
Yeah. You know, we've seen SC in the past go tankless and even Widow Mineless and just go for big pushes with Marines and just continue to do it, what I like to call the parade push, where he just continues to walk his Marines across the map. And
it's the style that Bomber used for a long time.
Bombers used it. We've seen Marine King use it as well. This is a pretty good trade for the Hellions, but the Lynx actually almost escapes with them.
He's just making sure that the Hellions go down, because it's not only about the amount of resources that you lose here, but it's SC's position on the map that he completely negates here, because now SC doesn't have a lot of momentum going on the map. He doesn't know what's happening. So this is very important for Mia. But as mentioned, we have the first few Widow Mines now coming out for SC, but he has such a huge bioforce that he decides it's time to move out and pressure Mia.
Yeah, he's going to have 2-2 with this very soon as well. This is a great timing by SC. We've seen him do this before. And normally what he does with this is just continue to rally units across the map once he has that momentum going for him. And he can leave the Widow Mines at home for run-bys. He wants to catch this army if he can. Oh, off-creep if he catches this would be great for him. He's going to catch the Mutas! The Mutas fly over! He loses several!
Yeah, loses 2 right there. This is, of course, very annoying now for Mia. Mutalisks are the one unit that you always want to preserve as much as you can. The Changelings are taking out. We have, of course, a few Overseers here to make sure that Widow Mines are not going to be as much of the problem as they would be without detection.
Very true. The very quick Drilling Claws upgrade coming out, too, so he's going to have that a lot earlier than some players. It gets caught here a little bit on creep.
Yeah, but the problem for Mia really is that he doesn't have the units ready that he needs to take down this entire army. Now he's streaming in with the rest of his army.
Where are the medevacs he needs to pick up?
Yeah, the dropship sending over at the 4th base. That's exactly what he does. Those Banelings, on the other hand, get a really good position against the Marines.
Yeah, and the drop that's going over here will be cleaned up. Takes out only the Spine Crawler. It looks like no real drone losses there. And
that's why Spine Crawlers and Spore Crawlers at your bases is so important. You will not be able to fend the drop completely off, but you can buy yourself some time.
Yep, SC is starting to clear up some of that creep in the middle, but again, this time he's going to be flanked.
And Mia is also moving in with additional queens to replace those creep tumors. I really like how meticulous he is about it.
Widow Mines hitting Overseers, that's not what you want.
Exactly, and now suddenly those dropships are being attacked by the Mutalisks, while the rest of the Widow Mines are getting in position.
Yep, and this is just barely enough Marines, it looks like, to clean up the Lings. Not with the Banelings coming, though.
SC still has a supply lead over the Zerg player. Definitely not what you want to happen if you're Mia. Another good hit with those Widow Mines.
And it looks like he's going to get just one more. Was not shown on screen, but he did get another shot off there on those Banelings.
Hive Tech is on its way. We have the first few Infestors being built. Pathogen Glands is being researched.
He needs to get some Overseers over here. He can't leave these here, and he lost his Overseers earlier on. There's one.
Yeah, there they are, finally. And another Mutalisk got taken out by those Widow Mines. They are really a pain in the ass right now for Mia.
Yeah, and this is SC's style just coming to fruition here. He's just going to continue the aggression over and over and over again. Just Marines, Medevacs, and Widow Mines. That's all he's making. That's all he wants.
He doesn't stop to build Widow Mines. He builds 3 at a time the entire time already.
Oh, no!
The Lings are moving in! The Widow Mine shot takes down a few Marines too, and the Baneling explodes, kills the bio units around it.
And he's a pickup. Nice pickup here.
Really nice drops.
Bait into some more of those Widow Mines.
That was exactly what he needed to do, dropping single Marines against the Banelings. This is not a trade worth it for Mia, and he is falling farther and farther behind in this game.
Pathogen Glands were not ready, so these Infestors don't quite have enough energy. Now it looks like they do, and they're going to come in here.
But a nice split so far. Mia is under a lot of pressure here. SC just doesn't stop the aggression.
Yeah, look at that parade push coming across the map. He just rallies, literally, his barracks across the map. This is his style. This is what he's known for. And
now
he's
the
wearing them down.
Moving in. The Widow Mines are still in cooler, but there are way too many Marines supported by Medivacs.
The Banelings are morphing underneath the Marines, and they're going to have to be cancelled. Several of them here. He's targeting them down.
He's just trying to buy himself some time here.
Oh, this is looking worse and worse for Mia. He's about to start losing his hit points on his hatchery.
Exactly, and he will lose the hatch. He's on 4 bases against 3 right now, but he will lose 1 very soon if he doesn't pay attention. He's trying to make it happen somehow, but there are just too many reinforcements.
Yeah, the Ultralist switch is just, it's coming,
it's slow.
But it's too slow, and the Widow Mines, they're still around. They're going to do a lot of damage. They ignore that Ultralist armor.
And we have +3/+3 now coming up for both players, so we will have +3/+3 Marines and Medivac support. And there's so many Medivacs already. 11 Marines produced at a time, and the Widow Mines. The Widow Mine count right now is already at 8, and he's getting more and more as we speak.
Yeah, 3 at a time still, as you were mentioning earlier.
Oh, nice Baneling hits now on the other hand against the Widow Mines.
Yeah, look at how fast they burrow though with that upgrade, the drilling claws. All these drones trying to sneak out. He barely gets them away. A good fungal here.
He needs another one though.
And the Ultra just can't go down against that many Marines.
Yeah, that's just way too many Marines. And now suddenly, yeah, this SC decides that it's time to move back. He already did enough damage. He took down the 4th base. Mia is trying to rebuild it. He's trying to stabilize, but he's 50 supply behind the Terran.
Yeah, and his economy is in shambles right now. And if you look at the resource at the bottom of the screen, you can see that SC has already even built a bank.
Oh, yeah.
He has to add more barracks to spend it all.
And he's getting additional bases right now. That's exactly what he should do. He's trying to make sure that he will continue to have the lead in the game.
The upgrade lead, though, is about to go to the Zerg player temporarily. And that's going to give Mia the chance to try to hold on a little bit longer with these bases. The infestors are so key because without good fungals, the army lead that SC has is going to rip the Ultralists apart.
Yeah, the Ultralists here, we have 4 of them so far, and of course they are very, very dangerous for a Terran player, but the big problem is that the army of SC is so much bigger that he can deal with it. The only thing that really could work well for Mia is a brilliant fungal, and then the Ultralists closing distance.
Exactly, with some Baneling support as well. He's going to target this hatch and pick up.
Nice.
So beautifully done.
That was exactly what he needed. Darting in with a stim, then you have this huge damage burst. Forcing down this one hatch and then immediately retreating and now starting to drop.
Uh-oh, this Ultralist Cavern is completely exposed right now. He's got just one Ultra back at home, but he could actually target that down if he splits his Marines well.
Where are the transfuses? Does he have enough energy on the Queen? I think he can use one, and he does.
You're exactly right. This hatch has to be cancelled. Get in the drones!
Oh my god, the drones are coming in. A lot of them are being taken out.
Yeah, but
another drop at the 3rd.
Exactly. This is going to be, again, a big problem. 3-3 is about to finish for SC. That upgrade lead will vanish for Mia. The Mia, though, is starting to stabilize a little bit. He's got his worker count back up pretty high.
Yep. He's really trying. He's trying to come back into this game, but the big problem really is that he can't lose his 3rd base. He's already in a position where he is down in economy. He needs to make sure that the 3rd is staying alive and then establish another base. He cannot fight his opponent being 1 base down.
He's being very cost efficient with his units because he's got these expensive Ultras and Infestors. He's not losing them. He's killing SC's drops. But he has to get that hatchery up, and once he does that, then he can start to maybe claw his way back into this game, but SC's not giving him very much time.
SC is now trying to play a numbers game. He's even building more barracks to get his production up. He's also adding additional command centers, and he's transitioning into Marauders. He's really trying to overwhelm the Zerg player, which is kind of funny if you think about it.
Yeah.
Usually it's exactly the other way around.
Exactly. You know, it's so funny how this works. And SC is now going to dart through the center, try to clear up some of these tumors and boost away. He's really using these medevacs to their full potential.
The problem really for me is that he doesn't get a moment to take a deep breath and stabilize. He is pressured at so many different positions in the game that he just can't do anything about it.
Is he really going to commit to this attack? I think SC may not have enough resources here, but the Infestors get targeted down.
Infestors get targeted down. Where are those crucial funnels that we need right now? The Ultralists numbers, they increase constantly. He's currently looking at 9 Ultralists, but only 2 Infestors to back them up.
Yeah, 2 Infestors, 2 more on the way to the space. You know, he's got the very expensive Ultras, which are great in a fight, but they're not always great at drop defense. As you can see here, the Ultras will fall, and the hatchery will probably fall as well, absolutely.
He has to cancel, and he does. He's trying to move in, but you can really see that moving his entire army is not going to cut it against his opponent. Because where we have the drop to the right side of the map, SC moves into position at the left.
Oh, and he could get the Ultralisk Cavern this time because he's going for 2 angles, and this time Mia has to make a tough choice. He has to defend his base on the left side, but meanwhile the base on the right, the main base, is under fire.
There's not enough time. The drilling claws, they make sure that all those Widow Mines are burrowed, and here comes the Zerg player trying to move in. Here comes the fungal. All those Infestors at the front are being targeted down, and now the Ultralisk already too late.
Yeah, he cleans up the drop, but the base is gone, and in the main base, he's lost his Ultralisk Cavern. He's going to potentially, well, with the way these units are dropped, he probably won't be able to kill those Ultras.
Yeah, the Ultralisks here at least have a good time, but the 4th base is already down. Mia is back to 3 bases, and that's something that he can't afford. The mineral patches in the main base are already gone. At the natural, we only have a few left. The only base where he's really getting a lot of income is the 3rd, and that's not enough against the Terran player on 4 bases, adding more and more command centers now.
Yeah, Mia doesn't have enough lings to use them for drop defense, and his army is only strong when it's all together, so he's constantly having to run his army together to defend drops. He can't send half of his Ultralists here and half of his Ultralists there. He kind of has to keep his army together, and that's part of the problem for his drop defense.
SC is just playing a very impressive game here. The Widow Mines, oh my god, it takes out all of those Banelings. Actually circling.
Well, yeah, he canceled them all, but still, that's a lot of resources lost to cancel, and then he loses the Lings, and you never want to lose units for free like that.
It was well done by Mia too, but it's just so much better play by SC in this game. Finally a good fungal against those Medivacs. Does he have the chain fungal necessary to take them down? Yes, he does.
It gives him a little bit of room to breathe against these drops, so they're instantly being replaced by that bank that SC has built. I mean, he's already almost remaxed with 2 Medivacs on the way.
A 50 supply lead.
And his Widowmine count is at 13 right now, and that's the unlucky number for Mia at this point.
There we have a lot of change. Lings moving in now, trying to get into position to scout what's going on. But the main question here really is, will Mia get this perfect fungal that he needs to take down this army? It's the only thing that he can hope for.
Yeah, there's nothing else that can win him this game. You know, he could try to splurge, do something crazy, and make one Viper, get a Blinding Cloud or something, but it's tough to make a choice like that. That's expensive.
And as already in the game against MMA, we have Mia with, SC with all those important scans. He knows about the position. He's not just running blindly into a trap here.
Decent fungal here, but the rest of those Marines say no.
Yeah, the Marines trying to take down one of those infestors, not quite happening, but another drop to the left side and reinforcements are already on their way.
SC is doing something really dangerous moving up there, but no, the Ultralist cannot fight like this. He's going down into a choke point. He's trying to push through.
He's actually just transfusing his Ultralist. He decided that he has enough to bully his way down the ramp. He's able to make it work.
Yeah. You know, SC he doesn't have all of his army with him because he's doing these drops, but eventually, Mia, if he loses his Ultralist one time, he's not going to be able to remake them because he can't afford it.
What SC is doing here is starving his opponent. He's completely suffocating him. Every time when Mia is building up a new base, SC is attacking it. He's drawing the forces of Mia to one side of the map and then attacking the other. So this is definitely not the position you want to be in. For Mia, this is something where he's just trying to hold on, but he's the one on defensive, and I just can't see him turn things around.
Yeah, I mean, he just lost 2 of his infestors to Widowmines. He's losing all of his creep here, and the Widowmines are now creeping into this last real mining base here.
The Widowmine count is currently at 11. Here comes a good fungal, but already too late. The hatch is gone.
And interestingly enough, that hatch was researching Burrow, did not complete.
And we already have another drop this time.
If he targets this base, he can get it. And he's just going to go for the Ultra first. I think Mia may be out of steam here, Kaldor.
Both of the Ultralists are gone. I want to actually escape him with just a few hit points left. Being taken out in the end, but the base is gone, and this is the more crucial part. There is no mining left for Mia. I think we are going to see a GG very soon.
Yeah, he's got no grasp over this game. You know, the total control goes to SC and his Medivacs. You know, he started with a parade push. You know, he can be very blunt, or he can be very precise. The SC has both skill sets, and how he's going to the main base trying to draw these forces back yet again.
Mia knows that he has to attack now, that he can't try to stabilize anymore, but the big problem is you can't attack when you're suddenly being doom-dropped in your main base and all your tech structures are taken out. The pool is gone, the infestation pit follows suit, and the rest of the base will also die if he doesn't turn around, but he can't. He has no options here. This is a lost situation.
Yeah, I mean, what does he do? Attack into an extremely defensible position and lose his entire army there, turn around, and SC just boosts away. He's working at the drones. This is a planetary now, and he has enough units to target this down, but it's not going to be cost efficient enough.
It's not only the only problem that he has, even if he targets it down, there are so many additional bases. He's no problem at all, and you can already see that the Terran player will defend this. This is no chance anymore.
GG. SC takes 2 wins in a row.
And Mia is once again unsuccessful in the GSTL.
Damn, man. SC is back with a vengeance. Excellent play in game number 2. You know, it's so funny that, yeah, after so long of a hiatus and after him experimenting with a different game, oh, look at how crushed Mia is. Oh my god, shaking in the booth.
I feel for the guy, I really do. He's a strong player. We had him several times in Code A where he looked good, where he then lost to very strong players that continue to go to Code S. But he himself, he just was not able to break this curse that he's apparently under.
Yeah, and you know, oh wow, look at Mia. I have to stress again though, SC, after taking such a long hiatus, having so many health problems, he's still back and he has like the same style we all saw from him before, and he still makes it work. It's incredible, his story. And FXOpen is getting 1 point closer again towards that all kill that they so desperately need to get themselves back onto the scoreboard.
Yeah, for Axiom-Acer, it's now a very dire situation. They are suddenly down 2 games. Of course, it's very much more so annoying for Mia. I actually can't stress this enough. The guy was able to qualify for Code A twice, which is so difficult to do. Then you lose in the first round. In GSTL, he was never really successful. Now he was sent out twice in this season to face Terran players, which also shows that he is a sniper against Terran. Every single time you talk to players of Axiom-Acer, they just confirm he's so good against Terran, but he has problems in the booth, and now he's been taken out by a brilliantly playing SC. For Mia, this is crushing his confidence.
Yeah, I mean, losing in Code A after qualifying multiple times, being now 0-6, I believe it is, in the GSTL, coming out 6 times in Wings of Liberty and in Heartless Storm, not being able to win a single game, and you know your team's counting on you. You're the guy to go to take out this strong Terran player. They've selected you for this. You've been practicing for this. Everyone's saying he's the best Zerg versus Terran player in the team. Yep. And then suddenly, you know, you've got SC with the weird, unusual Wings of Liberty-esque style with Widow Mines. It's his multitasking starting to fall apart a little bit. It's a very rough and sad situation to watch.
Yeah, SC added the Widow Mines very late in the game. At first, he completely relied on his fast upgrades, on a lot of bio units.
Pure
and
Marine.
Then later on, he went into a lot of Widow Mines that he produced the entire time. And then it was aggression, 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 going for drops, and always drawing the army of Mia to the left, to the right, making sure that Mia never really got a good economy. So a very annoying and very strong play by SC that was so well executed. And now suddenly, Axiom-Acer is down 2 games.
Yeah. I have to say, though, Mia's holds, though, in that game, he was down like 70 supply for a lot of it, and he was able to just hold on for such a long time with no economy, just using his strong army, making sure to be very cost-efficient, but SC wore him down too much in the end. And, yeah, they're down 2 games now. Yep. Who are they going to pick? I think it's time to switch to gears a little bit and go to a Protoss.
Yeah, we might see a Protoss right now. And we talked to Scarlet a lot, and Scarlet apparently has a lot of problems currently with her wrists. She is actually very worried about it and said that her wrist was hurting a lot today. She practiced a little bit yesterday and it was quite okay, but it seems to be quite severe. So she mentioned that she doesn't really expect to be playing today. She might have to for her team though, and she didn't really say that there's no way that she's going to come out today, but it's not going to be likely, especially with the condition that she has now. So
yeah, I'm feeling like it's time for. To me, if I had to pick, I would pick Alicia right now. Count on him. He's a good player, a good Protoss versus Terran player.
I would like to know how much Crank invested into his play against Terran after he came out the last time, because that was the matchup that he specifically trained for. And now, if he continued with the training, then he might be the next player that we are going to see. I think overall, as an catch-all player, Alicia might be a little bit stronger, but Crank in this matchup showed us the last time that he can really pull it off. Maybe he's the one to go to today.
And don't forget, we also have Ryung, who's exceptional at TVT.
Yep.
And there's Hart as well. Ryung's TVT is so strong that he might be the one they call on here, even though the first TVT was played by MMA, and MMA was ahead most of the time, but SC was still able to make the better choices. I could see Ryung coming out here as well. Not like the choice I would go to, but I could see that.
Whoever comes out now has to deliver, though. Because if you're down 0-3 and only 1 point away from being eliminated, it's very rare that we see a miracle being performed as Symbol back then in the days was able to do against Team LGIM. So right now they really need someone who gives the team a little bit of hope, who's able to get at least 1 or 2 points onto the scoreboard, maybe equalize the score, maybe even pull ahead, but they need someone who delivers. And SC looks so strong today, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, he is really on fire. I'm inspired by his play today. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, where's this guy been? And he's been practicing really hard, I guess. That's where he's been. It's really showing in his play. And if he gets the all kill today, I can't imagine how awesome the FXOpen is going to feel. But we'll see what Axiom-Acer does next. Who's it going to be?
It's going to be Hart.
All right, Hart. I think he may have a snipe build and plan. Hart is a great sniper. He's better than most Terran players in all matchups at all-ins. And we could see something like that from him against SC.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a very, very interesting game right now. Hart is a player that always has a trick up his sleeve. He always has something that he can pull off against you. So we are going to find out now if Hart is able to achieve a win in a Terran versus Terran where MMA failed.
Now, this is pretty cool. I'm excited to see what Hart has to bring to the table. You can see his GSTL win rate 2 and 3. That's kind of complicated. He's been on a lot of different teams, including TSL to start things off. And he has a very complicated history. And he was often criticized by the fans for only all-inning, but since then he's changed his style completely and has played mostly macro games in televised matches. But, you know, he's always got that ace of hearts up his sleeve that he can use, which is, of course, his all-ins and his cheeses. And the map he chooses is a two-player map.
His team is definitely looking at him and it's like, okay, well, we need a few wins, Hart. You need to do something against this guy. Take him out no matter what it costs. Make sure that SC is out of the equation. There's so many good players on the FXOpen bench right now that we still have to face. We have to deal with Gumiho. We have to deal with Leenock. We cannot lose another game against SC, a player who's strong, but who is still not on the same level yet as Leenock or Gumiho, who are so successful in Codes.
Yeah, or even somebody like Lucky, who has shown great games in the past. Or Tier, or Hurricane, I guess, as his new ideas.
Yep.
It's a really, really uncomfortable position. And with our new format being only a best of 7, choosing a sniper is such a harder decision than it was before, because not only does that person have to be able to snipe, but then also needs to probably get at least one other win, or it's not worth the snipe when you're behind.
Joya is still not looking happy. I don't quite understand why, because he should be with a 2-0 already. His team is doing quite well today. He has Hart, of course, always with the best posture that I've ever seen in the GSL, I think.
Yeah, very good posture from Hart.
And there's a C. Leenock made fun of him earlier and said that he has a very dominant chin.
He does.
And also said like he looks a little bit like a pelican. I don't know if that's really the case. I couldn't see the resemblance.
No, actually, I see that.
But Leenock was very insistent on it. He was like, yeah, it looks like a pelican.
He does. He's got that pelican look. I can see that. Wow.
I don't know. He didn't stand on one leg just yet.
No, not yet.
He has both legs. He's very down to earth.
Man, this is very intense for Axiom-Acer right now. I think we've got to see some sort of intelligent, planned out strategy from Hart. Maybe even that Hellbat drop we've seen off one base. Something sneaky, something tricky like that. We'll find out what it is. Right now, the map is Akalon Waste. It's loaded. This is the GSTL Axiom-Acer up against FXOpen, brought to you as always by Caldor and Wolf.